go ahead and get started. Debbie, can you please call roll?
That's Molly's eye.
Here.
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 Looks like we have a quorum. If everyone could please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to approving tonight's agenda. Council, any questions about tonight's agenda? Matt, do we need an executive session?
We do not.
Okay. So striking item 11. Any other questions, council? Seeing none? All right, I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve the agenda as written, striking item 11, executive session.
A second. I have a motion by Todd, seconded by Karen. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. Moving on to approving tonight's consent agenda. Council, any questions about tonight's consent agenda? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion by Karen, second by Kendra. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. Moving on to the communication section. Kechi civic groups and committees. Do we have any Kechi civic groups or committees here to speak? Seeing none? Seeing none?
Yeah. Okay, yes. Okay, the Teacher Arts Council is having a fundraiser. They are doing a dress rehearsal at the Kechi Playhouse on, what day is that?
June 5th.
June 5th. To see the play, You Take the Cake. Tickets are $12, and you can find the event on the Kechi Arts Council Facebook page and find the number to call to get tickets.
Awesome. Sounds like a really fun time. All right. Seeing no other Kechi civic groups or committees, we'll move on to the Kechi good news. Council, any Kechi good news?
Yeah, I guess.
Go ahead.
Anybody that may have noticed, there's a sign out there for my kids' 5th annual fundraiser that they do for Wichita Animal Action League. It's during the citywide garage sale. We do hot dogs, water, popsicles, popcorn, and all of it is free. So come by, have a hot dog, say hi, and if the mood should strike you and you want to donate a little something to Wichita Animal Action League, then by all means, please do that too. I just want to say that what they do is rescue animals from the kill list at the shelter. They rehabilitate them, and then they adopt them out. And that's how we got both of our dogs, and that's why the kids wanted to start this fundraiser. Excuse me. So that's what it's all about, and come say hi and get a free hot dog. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
Oh wait, you can find us on the map because we're the house that has the hot dog over the top of it.
Yes. Yes, that is true. Any other Kechi good news from council members? Staff, do you have any Kechi good news before I start? Okay. Well, last week was National Police Week, so thank you to our police department for all that you do for our town. We greatly appreciate you. Not just that week, but every day. So thank you. I also want to give a huge shout out to the police department again for the movies in the park. It was well attended, great, finally some good weather. Every time you guys hold that event, we have rain. So maybe just hold it every weekend so that we can have rain every weekend. We desperately need it. I also want to say that Sunnydale Community Center is holding their yearly garage sale right now up at their community building. It runs until Saturday. I don't have the time frames, but I think it's till about 4. But you can check it out on their Facebook page. And so yeah, that's my Kechi good news. Moving on to public comment. Debbie, do we have any public comment? All right. We will go ahead and close public comment for the evening and move on to new business. VA 2025-01. Do I have anything I have to read?
Dustin has it for you. Where's
And
Dustin?
I don't know him.
Let me look at-
Okay. Do you have any of those?
That was a lot faster than what I expected.
I'm sorry, I do talk incredibly fast.
It's
That is-
okay.
That is a problem I do struggle with.
I can do this. All right. Case number VA 2025-01. The planning commission heard the case on May 13th, 2025. They tabled it. They then had a special hearing on May 20th, 2025. The applicant is ThermoConnect. They are requesting a vacation of a portion of complete access control along Tigua Street. Planning Commission did vote to approve 5-0 with conditions, see below. The property owner is requesting a vacation of complete access control along Tigua Street and the north lot line of Lot 1, Block B, Young Industrial 3rd Edition. The owner is planning to build a shop and will need deliveries brought to the site. Having access control only on the south side of the property creates a problem for building placement, parking, and deliveries. The property was platted in 2019, zoned as I-1 Industrial District, and has complete access control along Tigua Street. There have been no other zoning cases on this property. Adjacent zoning and land use to the north is V, it's in the county, residential, highest and best, undeveloped. To the south, east, and west is I-1 for industrial, it is commercial, and to the west is undeveloped. Tigua Street is a 2-lane paved collector street with curbs and inlets. Based upon information available prior to the public hearings, planning staff recommends that the request be approved with conditions. The north side driveways required to have tactile paving or truncated domes or detectable warning pavers, as pictured here below. This recommendation is based on the following findings. 1, due and legal notice has been given, published in the Ark Valley News on April 10th, 2025. 2, no private rights will be injured or endangered. Staff do not expect private rights will be injured or endangered. 3, the public will suffer no loss or inconvenience. Staff do not expect loss or inconvenience to the public. 4, injustice to the petitioners, the vacation should be granted. Yes. Here we've got an aerial photo of the lot. This is where the Mammoth storage is. We have James Mason Enterprises, and up over here, the drive to Meter Engineers. It is this kind of house-shaped lot right here. And that access control is this north lot line right here. Zoning map showing county to the north, east, west, and south is all industrial. Future development plan map shows the area good for production. The potential site plan here, if I need to make it bigger on your screens, please let me know. They want to have access control on the north side, which would allow a driveway here and a driveway here. That would allow trucks to come in, semi-trucks to come in and pull out, or the other way, depending on which way they're coming from. Not having these here would create a problem for parking and deliveries, where semi-trucks would either have to back in towards the building or back out onto the street backwards. And we've all seen that happen before, and it's not fun. Site photos. Here we are to the south, we can see James Mason. To the north is an empty field. East, you can sort of see Meter Engineers. And to the west, it is empty over there as an empty lot, but still I-1 for industrial.
Okay. Council, any questions? I know, can you give us a little
Yes, several of the planning commissioners have driven along Tigwa Street, and they noticed that there is a sidewalk here. You can see it in this site plan here. You can see more of it right here on subject property facing south. And you can see part of it here on the west side, or west of the subject property. I myself have driven along there, so I understood where planning commission was coming from. There's a lot of people from Rock Point that walk this path. I've seen people out there pushing strollers, I've seen joggers. It just depends on the weather and how hot it is. But people do frequently use that. One planning commissioner had concerns with safety and pedestrians crossing the driveways, and was looking for signs to be placed up, stop signs coming out, as it was explained to all the commissioners on Tuesday this week. Legally, you have to stop, you have to come to a complete stop before you pull out onto a street from a private drive. He did recommend the tactile bumps as a safety precaution for people walking along that path.
Okay. Thank you for that background. I think that does help bring some light to some of it.
Solution.
Any questions, council? Other questions? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve VA-2025-01 as presented.
I have a second.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Todd, a second by Paul. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4. Moving on to the PEC agreement. Matt.
Excuse me, Mayor and Council, the agreement in front of you is for the Turtle Creek project. It is the engineer design services that will be performed by PEC. The developer's engineering company is doing the bulk of the work, and PEC, as a representative of the city, will be reviewing it to make sure that it meets our standards.
Council, any questions about this contract?
As far as the cost for this particular,
Yeah. Those costs are all figured into the engineering cost from the developer's engineer. It's all part of the contingencies for review of these plans, so nothing above and beyond what the petitions had in them.
so it's really kind of a pass-through cost?
It
It's not
is,
really
it'll
going-
be part of the special assessments to
Special
those
assessments.
properties, yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that, thank you.
Any other questions, council? Is there anything different than any of the other contracts we've ever had?
No, Andrews reviewed it as to form, and he and their attorney talked about it, and there's nothing.
Nothing
Different.
special, nothing
No.
different than
It's,
what we.
it's the same form that we worked on with them years and years ago. They're good about using the one that I like.
We like when you like it.
The one that the city wants.
Yeah, alright, that makes sense, thank you. Any other questions, council? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
I move we approve PEC agreement for engineering design services for project number 36-2570003-003-4319 and authorize the city administrator to sign.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Todd, second by Karen, all in favor say aye. Carries 4. Move on to old business, water conservation rebate program. Matt.
Mayor and Council, before you is follow-up from past conversations we've had about the Wichita Conservation Rebate Program that we are eligible for as a city as part of the wholesale customers with Wichita. As we talked in the past, we didn't know if our system would work to apply the rebates to customers' accounts. It will not the way we have it. To get it that way just wouldn't be economical. So because we've had one request for reimbursement because we assume that people will be interested in it. what we're asking the city to do is allocate $500, and we will just run our own program based off of Wichita's program. So we will have the same criteria that they do. However, it'll be much easier. They will submit the application to us. As long as it meets the criteria, we will reimburse them the appropriate amount for whatever product they purchase that meets those conservation plans. We don't know how much response we'll have to it. That's why, we feel that $500 for the first year would be adequate. It's a first come, first served basis, just like Wichita is. And if it's successful, then council can consider increasing that amount next year.
Is it the $50? Is that what Wichita's is?
Depends on,
Depends
how
on
much
what-
it depends on what it is. $50 to $100 for like rain barrels, appliances, different things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when would the program start? Would it be?
Well, what we would need to do is just get your approval for us to move forward on it. We would then have Andrew draft a resolution to make it official, and it would come back to you at the next council meeting, and we would make it retroactive to January 1, 2025. It would be for this calendar year.
So the person that inquired, could they then apply?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this, so please, nobody quote that I am, I'm not. I think my concern, is the fact that, so with the rebate that we were getting, it was Wichita's money, and I don't mind spending Wichita's money to reimburse our residents, and I am for this, but I do wanna put it out there that technically would have been getting Wichita's money, not using our own to pay people back, and so that's a little bit of a heartache for me. I do wanna get back to our community because I think that's important. I just know that I'd rather spend Wichita's money than our money.
Yeah, and I
So-
think this may be a good way of seeing if it would be of value to us. If we have one or two people that apply for it, maybe it's not. If we expend the entire $500 and have, 30 or 40 people who are interested in it, then it may be beneficial to the city to pay the money to have additional modules added to our software system or the programming done that will allow us to do that. It just really depends on what the response would be to it. And if we can make those changes to our system, then we can follow Wichita and have them rebate us, and then we rebate our customers. for
And again, I
credit on theirs.
completely understand that reasoning and justification behind it. I just wanted to put it out there.
Yes.
That I understand why we're not doing it that way. And we're trying to hear the residents. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate the forethought to really get this moving forward. So I just wanted to put it out there. I like spending other people's money, not our money.
I would agree.
So,
And we know how to do that within our own system, like would we just give them a credit?
Just be a reimbursement
It would
check.
just be a
Okay.
reimbursement, yeah. We can't do, the whole issue is we can't do credits in our system.
does council have any other questions? I would entertain a motion. So,
And we just need authorization to move forward, and then we will draft the resolution and bring it back to you at the next council meeting.
sounds like you have that.
Okay,
Authorization.
sounds good, yeah, we don't need a formal.
Yeah.
Just give us the go-ahead, if anybody's opposed to it, let me know.
Okay. All right, moving on to council reports. Does any council member have a report other than myself? Do you want me to go off now? Okay, does anybody else have a report before? Okay, that's fine. So here's my council report. So the city meetings I have attended since the last council meeting on 5/9, or I guess just some general meetings. I did attend Movies in the Park for a little bit, was able to converse with residents and the police department, and they put on a great time. Had a lot of great conversations, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it and appreciate it. On 5/10, Sedgwick County Association of Cities held their bi-monthly meeting. At this meeting, legislator Sandy Pickert, who is also the vice chair of the Sedgwick County, our South Central delegation, attended and gave an update on how the session went and how representatives felt about different bills that had passed. Also received some updates from Sedgwick County and other cities around the county. At the meeting, we did elect to do, new board members. I was elected the chair and will hold that until either my time is up as mayor, in the next election or, throughout the following year. And I am honored to hold that position and feel that, we can do some really great things here in Sedgwick County. The vice chair is the, council president from Clearwater, Justin Shore, so congratulations to him. And then after 10 years of holding the treasurer position, Gina from Valley Center decided to step down as treasurer, and so David Gow, or Dr. David Gow, who has presented before us, will be our new treasurer. And we felt his numbers was probably a really good idea for a treasurer. So he will hold that position. On 5/21, I did attend a subcommittee meeting for REAP to discuss a potential mayor's summit. They want to bring together the mayors throughout all of the counties that REAP serves to talk about different centering topics, things like water and things like that. I guess they try, not REAP, but the League of Municipalities attempted to do one in Humble, and 4 mayors showed up, 3 from Sedgwick County, and they drove all that way just to have a meeting that they already could have had here in Wichita. So we're gonna try it again, but here in Sedgwick County. So we're gonna hope that we can get some mayors to actually attend this time. So other items that I worked on, my typical stuff. I signed checks, I attend meetings, discussion of all of the things citywide. So I won't go through all of that again. Again, announcements, I talk about it every time, but Kechi Citywide Garage Sales will be June 14th. The forms are up here at City Hall, if you'd like to fill one out or mail it to the Kechi Fair Committee. We need those back by June 6th to be able to create the map, and we'll have the hot dog on it. So, that's my Kechi report.
Okay, my report. I want to address a statement that was made during the last council meeting during public comment. The statement was that the council has denied Public Works additional employees for the last 3 years, but that statement is not true. Thomas and our Public Works Department are very dedicated to our city, and they make every effort, to do what they can with what they have. Every department makes sacrifices, especially after all the changes we experienced last year. And I believe that the council's priorities are in line with our city's needs. I also want to remind the residents to utilize your resources. If there's an issue, call City Hall, email us, email council members. I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. I don't think that posting complaints on Facebook is getting any issues resolved. So we want to hear about the problems firsthand. So.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any other council members have a report that they were hiding and didn't want to go until last? All right, we'll move on to staff reports. Matt, well,
Yep.
Public Works.
Public Works?
Sorry, Thomas.
I guess that's me.
This week, right?
I think you have most of the stuff in front of you. Again, reading gas and water meters. Tons of locates again. AT&T fiber optic. They had their dates a little mixed up. They told me June 16th before they started the west side of Oliver, but I guess AT&T and their contractors had a little hiccup. So I just allowed them to start now. Kind of get in and get out of the way. Instead of running all the way into June. Either way, they're gonna become a nuisance kind of with the downtown project, and their cars and trucks in the way. We mowed the city park 3 or 4 times, numerous times. Installed a couple of culverts up, in Sunnydale. This last week, me and Debbie actually spent about 3 days doing interviews for employees. We kinda had them on a rapid 30-minute, trying to get as many as we could through. I didn't realize how fast questions run into each other, and you try to remember whether you asked them that question or not. Probably the most interviews I've ever done. Hopefully we got the ones narrowed down. Hopefully they'll work out this time. So we ended up hiring 2 new Public Works employees. Malachi Elijah George started Tuesday. He is Army. He is currently Army Reserve, so he will be out, 1 week a month. Yeah, he started with us on Tuesday. Really hard working. think he was kinda surprised that we did as much as we do. So far, he's helped dig up a gas line. Today, he weeded and mowed City Hall. The first day, they were changing out a couple gas meters and doing locates, so I think for him, what attracted him was the fact that we do something different constantly. He's not gonna be stuck doing the same thing over and over again. We also interviewed, we have a Noah Hughes, he's supposed to start with us on Tuesday, after Memorial Day. He comes to us from, El Dorado Corrections. I guess that wasn't the ideal job for him, so, I think currently he's working, erecting, also helping his buddy is what he was doing, steel buildings out of state, so he wanted to come closer to home. One is a Heights graduate, one is a Northwest graduate, so, both fairly young, energetic guys, it seems like, really polite, so if you see them out there, you know, say hello, or don't, hopefully our first, you know, response to them isn't something negative, so let's at least welcome them for a little while. I kinda need some help. We did a walkthrough for the sewer line, manhole and rehabs. All that project is currently done. The last thing we're waiting on is a punch list for them to come back and fix some ruts that they left in some places and to fill those holes in. On a good note, Huffman Drive, the sewer along there is running now. We don't have a manhole that's halfway full and getting phone calls about the smell, so it's running, it's doing what it's supposed to. Numerous inspections, lots of people putting on roofs, decks, things of that nature. Approach inspections, sewers. We did have to change out about 5 to 10 gas meters. About 5 of those were hit by mowers, so residents, please. I know weeding is not the funnest thing in the world to do, but just a 3-foot radius around your meter will help us all out a lot, so. Just really busy and, started mowing, tractor mowing, so, please be aware of public works employees out on the street. I know we have a lot of people that are irritated with the downtown project, they're not so happy zooming around, but, I don't want Earl to be hit while he's out on the grasshopper in the ditch, so, just be aware of that. But yeah, so other than that, it's just a lot of mowing and jumping, and like you said, we'll be doing a gas line. Next week they'll be out and checking everybody's gas lines, so if you see somebody in your backyard, they should be wearing a highlighted shirt, so. That's basically it right now. Any questions, or?
Did those 2 employees get you up to full staff, Thomas, or do you still need?
No, so the first one was probably to replace, Aaron, from last year, and then, I guess I forgot to add, so we should be okay. Actually had a high school kid that's gonna come in and mow and stuff for the summertime. So that's the first time in a decade that I've had a high school kid or anybody apply. I was telling them, 10 years ago, we went to WSU and hung flyers and still didn't have anybody apply. So, he's from Halstead, so maybe, looking a little farther out than our local area, but, so, yeah, so those 3, and we'll see what happens, and at least got him to come in and do the mowing and weeding, so we can do more critical infrastructure stuff that we need to get ahead of, so.
And then is AT&T wrapped up? I saw 'em.
No, so, we've been through numerous inspections, so every time they go through one of your guys' yards, we have them dig up our gas line. They were not happy about that, but we wanna make sure they're not hitting those when they bore across there, cause they like to hit them and then just drive off. I don't know if anybody's seen, but they had a non-located line that killed a 5-year-old in Kansas City, Missouri a couple weeks ago. And NTSB said that was because the lines weren't marked. So we also are in charge of doing all that. They're still running out completely west, out by Haddock's old property. So they're tying in all that fiber optic. I don't think AT&T had fiber optic running completely through the city before. I know Cox has been in here. But yeah, they're still gonna be headed out. We have AT&T hanging new mobiles on the antenna next week, so there'll be a crane parked out here. You won't be able to get into this entrance north of City Hall. I also have Magellan, getting ready to put a pipeline in just west of town out by Haddock's, running up from Cook Properties all the way through to 69th Street. So lots of stuff going on, lots of inspections by us. They'll cross our gas main 4 times, our sewer main once, and our water main twice, so kinda gotta be out there and watching them when they're doing those things, so kinda busy, and then others are making us even busier. So,
We appreciate you though, thank you.
yep.
I just have a couple of comments
Yeah.
for you, Thomas. I've emailed, back on using the feedback, at Kechi, email address. And Matt and you have been very responsive to all of my questions and comments, just some things around the park that I noticed. And you guys have been addressing those, and I just really appreciate, and the park's looking really good, nicely mowed, nicely trimmed. So I just wanna say thank you for that.
I'll let Vern know. Yeah, I had him up there trimming trees and stuff. I forgot to add that too, so getting some dead out of them, but.
Yep.
We appreciate you, thank you. Amanda?
I just have a few things. We took delivery, I'm just gonna read them because it's easier for me. We took delivery of the 2025 Silverado, it's our new one. Our 2023 Charger is currently getting upfitted for patrol use, so it's gonna have the cage in it. It's gonna be ready to go for the guys. Moving in the park was a success. I think we had about 100 people. And the next one's scheduled for June 13th. So I think I told you guys 16th, June 13th. Patrol activities are picking up for the summer and spring. Along with that, we need to just remind everybody to please keep in mind that kids are out of school. They're going to be running around. Let's just observe the stop signs if we can. Along with that, drug law violations are increasing, and that's due to our increased patrol and interdiction efforts. Our guys are doing a great job. And yeah, we ask that please continue to be patient with the construction and everything. Those stop signs are important, the speed limit's important, and then obey the construction. So.
Do you wanna talk about click it or ticket?
Yes, we're doing that as well as much as we can between our shifts, but we had an officer out yesterday doing that, and he's been successful. We have to have at least 2 contacts an hour, and so that's all. It's going well.
Awesome, well, thank you very much. for
Any
your-
questions or anything?
Thanks, thank you. Planning, zoning, and anything Dustin does.
All right, zoning. Planning Commission was to hear 2 cases on May 13th, but only had a quorum for just one. There was ex parte going on with one of the planning commissioners. The one case that was heard had a special meeting on the 20th, as we discussed earlier tonight, during the case of the vacation. And Planning Commission will hear about 3 cases on June 10th, and hopefully council will hear 2 of those cases on the 26th. One of them's a BZA, it doesn't go to council after that. IT, we are replacing 6 computers throughout the entire city. A couple of them here in admin. Matt's is quickly turning into a boat anchor. A couple over in PD, and then one in the shop on the north side. Stormwater. I am going through and reviewing the stormwater management plan so it can be submitted. And we are scheduled to have a street sweep done in the city the week of June 16th. You look like you're, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know what day it will be, but it is scheduled for the week of June 16th. Code enforcement, several complaints have come in regarding tall grass. It's that time of year again. People forget, landlords fall behind, and it becomes a huge mess. Most of everybody has been contacted either phone or in person. They know that it needs to be taken care of. It's just a process of giving them time to get it cut, and then it gets resolved. After, let's say Tuesday, if it's not resolved, then that's when the letters go out. And then they have 10 days from receiving that letter. It's a whole thing to give everybody a chance. Do you have any questions for me? You got me loaded.
Comments. So for the street sweep stuff, can we try to then put out something if we get a little bit more information on
Yeah,
the
well-
Facebook page? And
Yeah, we intend to put it out a little closer to the date. We don't
Okay.
want to put it out too far because then people forget, so we'll put it
Correct.
out shortly before.
No, that's fine, I just wanna make sure that we comment on that, and then second, do we have anything on our city website or, about potential help for mowing for elderly. I mean, I have some contacts because of my other job that maybe I can share, on the city website, or, ideas of who they could contact if they need that help, but I didn't know if we already had that stuff, and I just wanted to.
We don't,
offer it.
but we could, forward it to us, we can
Okay.
create a resource link or something.
I mean, I can give lots of resources for different things, I just didn't know if that was maybe something that,
Send it our way.
okay, I can do that.
Yep.
So, those are my two things, sorry, it
Okay.
looked like I was very intentional tonight. Alright, any other questions, council? Nope, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Matt?
Not a lot to add, I just wanna follow up on some of the park items. The Public Works guys have been out there trimming in addition to mowing. We're having the weeds treated over there. Been some complaints of weeds and stickers, so we don't want those to take hold and get a bunch of stickers out there, so you'll see a company out there treating those weeds. Thomas and his guys are gonna cut down some of the dead trees over there as they get time in the next month or so. And the berm at the park over there, Karen pointed out, there were some loose rocks. Thomas and I inspected it a couple weeks ago. Everything looked okay. I guess kids get out there, they start kicking out the rocks and things start getting loose. So as they have time, they're gonna go and they're gonna concrete some of those in. So they're a little harder to get out until the park board decides what they wanna do with that area there, just to try to make it as safe as we can. And unfortunately, a lot of those rocks that are kicked out of there end up in the bottom of the pond. So that's another reason Thomas wants to get those secured in there, so they don't end up throwing them in the pond. The intersection project is, for the most part, on schedule. They extended 2 days for a change order that they had. There was a water line that was somewhere they didn't think it was, so when they were running the storm sewer, and the storm sewer is for all the runoff from the gutters and everything else, it's totally separate from wastewater, like the water that goes down your drain at home. So all the runoff from the road, they're installing great big 24 to 36 inch pipes underground, and as they were installing those, they took a scoop of dirt out and there was a water line there, and they didn't know it was supposed to be there, so they had to re-engineer that part of it. They're gonna have to go in, cut the line out, reroute it so they can get that storm sewer through there. So they gave them an additional 2 days. Now, just because they gave them that 2 days doesn't mean it's going to extend the project. They're out there working every day unless it rains, but they're on schedule. They're doing it in phases, so they had to stop on the phase that had the water line issue, but they moved on to additional phases, so there was no interruption in work out there. So everything's moving along. As soon as they get those storm sewers in, the street guys said it's gonna be pretty quick. Getting those curbs and gutters and the new roadway and everything in. So we should see some good progress very shortly. And I was just gonna mention that like Thomas said, AT&T is replacing their antennas on our tower. So this north drive to our parking lot will be blocked next week. Really won't affect the community, more so the police department and city employees who park back there. But if you're coming up to City Hall for anything, go in the front, because you won't be getting through there. So other than that, I don't have anything. I just want to thank all our staff here for all their hard work, like always. Everybody just works really hard and don't get bored, that's for sure.
That is true. Okay, get bored, please let me know, I'll find a project. Alright, council, anything else? Are we adjourned tonight, or do we need a workshop?
No, we're adjourned.
I wanted to double check. Alright, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second. Kendra was just a split second. I have a motion by Karen, second by Kendra. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. We are adjourned.